What is up, guys? Welcome back to some more Marvel Contest of Champions. And today we're going to take a look at a few Alliance War fights from some of these are from a couple weeks ago, and the last one is from last week. And taking a while uploading these because I've been grinding in the arena for Nightcrawler, and I'm finally done. I did 6.5 million the first time and I got him, and then I went for him again. I did 6.8 this past time, so that definitely should be enough, but we'll see in a few hours if I get him or not, if I awaken him or not. And I've tested him out a bit in the arena and in Quest, and really like him offensively. He does a lot of damage. Anyways, first up, you see we have Agent Venom, and he is on a strike back node. That is why I'm not using my special attack at all. Since it's not a science, sometimes I use Doctor Strange here. Sometimes I use Captain America side for Captain America this time. And with just a tiny bit of health left, I went ahead and did my special to end it. As you can see, next up is a science, and I do have the science detect. Very, very helpful in Alliance Wars. It lets me know when to use my Scarlet Witch, because most likely it is either a Spider-Man or an Electro. This time it's Spider-Man. Sometimes on this node I end up facing Yellow Jacket as well. Actually fought him recently on this node and got caught by his first special. It wasn't the whole thing, it was just one of the beams ended up hitting and took a little bit of damage, but not too bad. But as you can see, it took Spider-Man out pretty easily. He did get a few hits in, but I'm pretty sure that was from evading his first special. Next is the Thorns node. If it's not a science here, then I use my Doctor Strange. And this one is a Unstoppable Colossus, and I actually was not paying attention during this fight. I didn't realize that he had Mystic Dispersion. I think it's actually maxed out, and it actually messes me up a little bit later in the fight, towards the end of the fight. Didn't lose too much health, but caught me by surprise when his power bar just jumped up and went to the level 3. And I think it's right here. No? Okay, right there, yeah. She jumped up and smacked with that level 3, but luckily I had the armor up on, so it wasn't that bad. And I'm just waiting for the Fury pop up, last that level 3, and fight's over. So, moving on, who is the next fight? I believe this is Electro. And which is a normal fight for me to come across here. Sometimes I get like a Juggernaut with Mystic Dispersion, which is pretty annoying. I've got mine at level my Mystic Dispersion at level 4. Eventually I will take it to level 5, I believe. I'm saving up my loyalty points to till I have enough to buy. I need 80 Mystic cores. So once that happens, then I'll rank that up, and I just need to move 1 mastery point over to there. And that'll probably happen around sometime after I get Mortal as a 4-star. And so I'll throw that on him and put him in Alliance War defense. So most of the time on this node, if it's not a science, then I use Captain America. But this time I decided to use Doctor Strange, which was a good thing because it's an Iron Man, 5-star Iron Man, and actually got a little bit of healing against them. But the main thing was that able to counter his regen. So ended the fight pretty quickly. And now we... Nope. Okay, no. Getting ahead of myself. So this is the heal block node. And you see we got Spider-Man again. And my Black Widow isn't... Her signature level isn't maxed out. It's at level 59, so she has a 90% chance to bypass the enemy defensive ability. So it works out pretty well in short fights, but in longer fights, eventually, you know, the enemy will evade, Spider-Man will evade, and you'll see that in the boss fight here coming up. This one is mini boss fight, and it is a Black Panther Civil War. I use Doctor Strange a lot for this fight as mini boss as well. Actually, if I look and see that the mini boss is the main boss is a science, then I'll use Doctor Strange. If not, I'll use Captain America, and I'll try to save my Doctor Strange for the main boss. But the good thing about fighting Black Panther in this fight is that having Mystic Dispersion, whenever his armor up wears off, I do get that boost of power. And this node has a, Plagued Mines. So every 20 seconds about you get the power drain, and I don't really have to worry about that because I just keep hitting him and he gets those stacks of armor, and then those armor wears off and boosts my power so I can do my second and third specials. I do fight him in the next Alliance War that you'll see later, and I mess up a little bit, end up losing my Doctor Strange, but you'll see that here in a few minutes. So got that third special again, firing that off. And getting a little bit of regen, and actually messed up there, should have dashed back. And that first special of his messes me up a lot of times because you have to dash back a couple of times, and if you don't, you can't get caught by that last attack, and that's the part of the attack that causes bleed. So here we are in the boss fight, and I'm starting off with Captain America. Just want to see how much damage I can do with them. Using Captain America, I have to fight him a lot slower than I'd like to, just pacing myself for when he evades like that, because he's gonna, 9 times out of 10 he fires right back after the evade. Where he does that, the evade and hit at the same time. It's so annoying. Kabam said that they were fixing that, and apparently they fixed it for some devices. I haven't looked in the forum lately, but it's not fixed for all devices. I actually thought it was fixed for me at first, because like for 2 weeks after the update, he wouldn't fire back right away, and I didn't have any of the issues, but eventually I started seeing it pop up again. So might be the same thing for other people as well. And that's not just with Spider-Man, that's with all champs that evade. Like not so much Black Widow, because her evade doesn't happen too often, but it did happen to me recently fighting Moon Knight during the that phase of the moon. I can't remember which phase it is, and definitely Nightcrawler. Actually have some issues fighting Nightcrawler. I don't know if anybody else has the same issue, but sometimes after he evades, he actually turns invisible, and the only way that I can see where he is when he does his heavy attack. Otherwise, I'm just like hanging back waiting for him to pop back up. Let him fire off that second special. And when fighting Spider-Man, I try to push to that second special instead of the first one, or rather evade the second one, because sometimes when I'm too close, I accidentally dash back, and 9 times out of 10 you end up getting hit from that. Every now and then he actually will evade like 1 or 2 of the web balls. I don't know what you call that part of the attack. And then what ends up happening is you can then block afterwards, but most of the time you end up getting hit by that special. So did a good chunk of damage off of him with Captain America. So that right around 40k, a little bit less. So then go in with Black Widow, and it's actually a different fighting style that you have to use with Black Widow, since you can't parry him and you really don't want to take too much block damage. So bait out that level 1, then dash in and attack, and you see right there he did that evade and then real quick fire back. I wasn't expecting him to evade. I know she's not, her signature level isn't maxed out, but I just expect her to bypass that evade 100% of the time. And got caught with one of the web balls there, and it gave me weakness. Not too bad. Got another evade in there and just got the full effect of that first special. I wasn't back far enough to evade it. And I'm actually just not doing this fight properly because I'm not keeping enough distance after each combo. And been trying to work on that recently with her just practicing moving in and out when I'm fighting the boss. So Scarlet Witch down. Go ahead and take my Doctor Strange in there. See if I can chip off a little bit more health before switching back to Captain America. And actually, I end up forgetting like how to fight with Doctor Strange after. I just have trouble switching back and forth the fighting styles, where this fight should be a slower pace for me. Just trying to fire off those first specials is what I should have been doing instead of saving my power up. Because if I do the third special like you see here, he ends up regenning about half of that back from willpower. And just got caught reaching in there. So back to Captain America. And you see he's down to a little bit over 8K. And the thing I like about using Captain America against Alliance War bosses is, you know, part of the node is I think it's called adaptive or something like that, and after you land the first hit, then they start cycling between gaining stacks of physical resistance and energy resistance. So I mean, over time you're doing less damage, you know, during the course of the fight. But with Captain America's signature ability, he ends up getting perfect blocked after you land the first hit. So ended up taking that boss down. Didn't have to use a revive for Spider-Man that time. Alright, so on to the next round. See, I'm not sure if I did a fight before this. Probably not. If I did, I forgot to record it. But straight to the Thorns fight, and matched up against a Magneto. And at first I'm thinking, no, yeah, this is going to be really easy. But I forget that his signature ability means that I can't, my third special won't do as much damage as I'd like, you know, when I hold on to it and use it during the Fury. So did it during the, I forget what that's called, but you know, power gain and health steal to get some health back. I missed time that evade there, and don't know why I evaded, because I had to armor up, so it would have been the perfect block. And trying to fire off that level 2 to get some health back, but just couldn't sneak it in there. Couldn't get it to land. So got lucky with the armor break there, did some good damage on him. Then since he has the armor break in, decided to come in and attack him and try to get some of my health back. And holding on to that for the health steal. So shoot out that level 3, get some health back. And fire that level 2 and fight's over. So moving on. Who is this? forget who this next fight is Falcon. And this is actually the first time that I faced Falcon in Alliance War. I've heard of people putting him on, is it Kinetic Reactor, I think it's called. So whenever you block, then the AI gains power. Stupidly tried to evade that first special there. It was just a reaction, and as soon as I dashed back, I knew that I messed up. But yeah, Kinetic Reactor, I hear he's good to have on because his first special you can't evade, as you can see. So it's almost like if he does his first special and you block it, then he has enough power, almost enough power, to fire it off again. There's a few champions that are like that. His War Machine is one. What's his name? Joe Fixit is another. And you have Agent Venom as well, but Agent Venom doesn't shoot as many bullets as the other two. But as you can see, I was able to gain all that health back. One thing that I really like about Doctor Strange is how fast he can gain health back. So fire off that third special right there in the fight. So who do we have up next? Say it's not a science. And see, who is that? Can't tell. Oh, Agent Venom. Don't actually face him too much on my path. I know he's sort of a good Alliance War defender. The biggest thing is remembering that he has that tenacity. So if you do parry him and try to counter, just wait a second to see if tenacity kicks in or not, and if it doesn't kick in, then you can go ahead and attack him before the parry wears off. That there had a mental lapse and forgot to dash back twice during his heavy attack, and just messing up quite a bit in this fight. And trying to bait out that special so I can fire off my special. And there's a tenacity, which actually works in my favor. I mean, I would have ended the fight anyways, but he doesn't get to get some health back from willpower. So next up we have an Electra, and she has the double-edged suicide, and that's also something that I don't normally see in the middle path anymore, is champs with suicides, just because you bait out that special and it takes, I think, 5% of their health each time they do a special. And they actually fixed it. It used to be, well, temporarily, if you did a third special and you had suicide, you didn't get that recoil. But in the last update, Kabam just fixed that, so now you get that recoil. But trying to bait out this second special so I can go in for the kill. So one more combo and this is over. I'll use my second special and then the fight. And up next we have Black Panther again, and end up messing up this time. I have to use a revive, and then I finish the fight off. But I've been seeing him a lot lately on this node. Between him, Mortal, and Juggernaut, those are the three that I see the most on mini bosses lately. Curious if I'm going to start seeing more Nightcrawlers now that the Nightcrawler arena is over, and a lot of people went for him. He broke the record as a basic. It was just under 6.1 million to get him. So hopefully it doesn't go higher than that. Or I should say hopefully it doesn't go to 6.8 million, which I don't think that it will. So here I was trying to use my special. When I went to tap it, he did his special, and I ended up getting caught. And that took a huge chunk of health off, and then the bleed ended up killing me. I should have paused the game and restarted the app. I know I would have lost half health, but he still would have been alive, and I could have finished. Came back with the vengeance, finish him off, but try to do it with Captain America. I know that if I get him with these stacks of armor, then I'll have perfect block. What was I saying? Oh, I was gonna say I don't think that the cutoff would be higher than 6.8 million, but I do think eventually, like when Mortal is a basic, I do think that it will get that high, possibly maybe even hit 7 million. I hope not, but I'm sure that will be another record-breaking basic. And having a bit of trouble here. I'm trying to push him back, but I keep having to bait out his special, and that backs me up. Got caught by the heavy attack there. And backed into the corner. He's not doing his special, just keeps doing the heavy, and fight's over. So I was thinking about giving it a try with Black Widow, but figured, you know what, let's revive Doctor Strange, throw some health on him, and have a little rematch here. And this time around goes a lot better. Goes how this fight normally goes, how it's supposed to go. You know, I just press him and take him out with ease, pretty much. I actually wasn't paying attention too much there. Felt because he was close to. Since he had a second power bar, normally I don't fire that off. Let it wait, but I mean, he didn't get his special, his third special, so that's all that mattered. And there we go, fire off the third special again, get some more health back. And the second special is so much easier to evade than that first one. That's why I push him to the second special most of the time before I try to bait out the special attack. Like you saw there, that third attack, like, it looked like I still had a good amount of distance, but he still hit me. I mean, I was blocking, but still hit me, so that's why I'm dashing back twice now whenever he does that. Bait out the special again. And fire off that level 2 to end the fight. And don't have a boss fight for you right here because we didn't open up I believe it was Spider-Man, but we didn't take down all the nodes. Instead, I'm going to show you the boss fight against a Nightcrawler, and I actually wasn't recording at the beginning of this. Just got out of grinding in the arena. Was playing for like a little over an hour and just out of focus, but went in and I lost all 3 champs. I can't remember how much health was on them, but just making stupid mistakes like not dodging back twice when he does his heavy attack, or a couple times I just stood there while he did his heavy attack thinking I should probably dash back, but it didn't happen. Like again there, luckily he didn't hit me, but he ended up hitting me later, but I only dashed back once during his heavy attack. So like I said, still not completely focused. Switch over to Doctor Strange, and if you don't know, the big thing about fighting Nightcrawler, like how to beat him, is when he dashes back and holds his block for 2 seconds. If he's awakened, then it's 1.7 seconds. You can get him to switch stances, and so that's how you beat him, is to get him to switch to was it swashbuckling mode, and he will no longer evade. It's just that his attacks become stronger. He can gain fury, and he can increase his critical hit rate in this mode. So really good for if you're using him for attack. I tested him out against Winter Soldier and Realm of Legends, and it took I think it was like 333 hits, something like that, to take him down. I'm going to test it out again once I awaken him, and I'm going to take him to signature level 39 and then do it again. But as you can see here, just not playing well. Again, let him switch modes, and then I go to try to switch back, and he evades. I dash back. I miss time evading his first special, which I do from time to time, and he caught me with that. So ignore that fight right there. I'm pretty sure I swiped back twice, but she just went back once. So back to Captain America. Revived him and decided that since it was item use was going on, and I had another team revive about to expire, I said, I should just try this one more time. And got in there, got him to switch modes, and got that first hit in, so I have perfect block. And at this point, you just slow it down and bait out his specials. Make sure you don't do anything stupid, like letting him switch modes back so that he evades again, and just properly timing that first special. But yeah, as you can see, the fight's going pretty well. Normally, I would use his second special, but with how much health he has, and his willpower, he'll get. I think that would just end up causing him to heal. He wouldn't lose any health at all. He would just heal from it. Because one thing I forgot to mention, I'm sure you saw, was that there is still a node up, but since we were behind, and I think we went 1 for 1 with boss kills. I forget which BGs got boss kills, but we got one and they got one, but they were ahead of us in exploration, so said, you know what, time is running out, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to take this Nightcrawler down. I was curious if I was able to. Did a lot of practice on him recently, just because I was seeing him more and more in the Alliance War, and I knew I was going to see him even more after the arena. Actually, I swapped out my Spider-Man and put him in for Alliance War defense. So if you face my Alliance, just know that you see my name, it could be a Nightcrawler. May or may not be, you never know. So did pretty good that round. How many hits was that? $122 hits, and did quite a bit of damage. I don't remember where it started at, but did a lot of damage. And so, round 2 in this saga against him. Got him to switch stances pretty easily there. And now got the perfect block. And for a short period of time, I was actually thinking about replacing Captain America in my Alliance War attack, just because I hadn't been using him too often. Like I would go like a week and not use him at all in any of the fights. So I was trying to figure out who I could replace him with. But in situations like this, I mean, you have to keep him in there, because you just never know when you're going to need that perfect block. And I mean, he's not the hardest hitting one. He's not going to take him out the fastest, but he can slowly get it done, as you can see. And I can't remember if it was this fight or the next fight, but I actually missed time a couple of the dashing back for the first specials, but I didn't get hit. Got lucky. So trying to bait out that second special again. And he's backing me up, so I got to back him up a little bit. And one thing about fighting Nightcrawler, which wasn't even paying attention to what he was doing there. He just dashed back and was blocking, and I was blocking, and let him switch nodes, or switch stances back. So there we go. Got him to switch back to swashbuckling. And the way that I normally do these fights is, when they dash back and block, normally I come in and attack, do like 3 or 4 hits, and then I back out. But against him, you don't want to do that, because you will end up forcing him to switch stances again. which isn't what happened in this fight. It did happen in the Doctor Strange fight. Like he dashed back and blocked, and then I came in and I gave him like 1 or 2 taps, and then he switched stances, and I was like, why did I do that? So couldn't finish it off there, but he has a tiny bit of health. You can see down to 23k. And got that to perfect block. So now just trying to get him to dash back. There we go. A few hits and switches stances. So that's the only downside to putting Nightcrawler in defense. I mean, the reason to put him in there is because of his evade. You know, causes a lot of trouble. And really the only champs that can bypass it are skill champs, and they have a class disadvantage. Though, I mean, you have Black Widow, you have Falcon, but you have to dash back and hold for like 2 seconds to get the Red Wing. And you have Karnak, but you have to fire off the first special. But soon you will have Cable. If you do your 3rd special, and then I think the 1st special after that, then it becomes True Strike. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for now. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If so, hit the like button, and take care. Have a great day.